I'm installing a CD player in my Honda Accord 2003. My stereo went out, started acting funny, stopped working. So I'm adding this into this little cubby hole down here. This is the Metra, not sure the part number exactly, but I already rigged it up. And so I actually already had this installed. I just needed to, I made a mistake, and so I'm going to try and help you guys out. Keep you from making that same mistake. So you just rig this thing up. The instructions are pretty clear on how to put it in here. It seems a little bit flimsy, so you got to be careful not to break it. So the process of taking this thing apart, it's totally rigged, but it's actually pretty easy. So you want to get yourself one of these kits with these, dash panel tool, and come in, pop this guy up. You'll want to have a key in to be able to move this, or use this key release. So pull that off, open this guy up, and then stick your hands in here. This ashtray, if you just reach in, push down, pull out, it'll pop out. It just has a couple clips. And then this, there's a couple screws down in there. You can't really see them, but you can't really see anything. A couple screw places there that you can unscrew, and then this thing will pop out as well. It has a couple clips and it pops. So this pops out, and I just dangle it over the side like that. And then to get this guy out, there's a screw here and then a screw there, and that should be it, and then it just pops out. So I pulled that thing out. Then there are a couple of screws to pull out this radio. You've got this spot here and then another one here. And then this is probably the hardest part of everything, is getting this center panel off. I tried using these guys, and I kind of dented the molding here. So I had success when I used which tool? I used this one. Stick it about here, and it pops. Run it this way and pop, and then pop back here. So there's a pop, 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 pop. And so then the hardest part is getting this guy off. And what I was successful in doing is reaching back here and pulling this way, pulling towards me, because there's a couple of clips in here that come out this way. And it takes a surprising amount of force. You can see the radio's still, yeah, it's totally jacking up. It takes a surprising amount of force, and it pops off, but made me uncomfortable doing it. I thought I was going to break something. So there's that, and then there's just 1, 2, 3 screws on this stereo to pull out. Also, up underneath here, there are some clips that hold it in, so you got to be careful not to break those as you're pulling this piece out as well. The cables into the unit are pretty tight, and so I had to pop this off. You should just use some needle nose pliers and pinch that to be able to get it out. It's I think it's right in here that it's being held. So that pops out, and then you can reach around and unseat that connector and that connector. You know, after doing this, I don't think you even need to pull this radio out. I think you get away with not even having to pull this off, because this connector, you can reach up underneath here and actually feel it in the back of the stereo and pop it out. This is the radio, or the radio antenna, and there's another pesky clip holding it in place. So it made a little bit, I had to undo that to give it some more length to actually be able to connect into it. So here's the cable assembly that I already put together. It's just matching wires. This This is the harness that it came with, that Metra sent, and then this was the existing one from the radio that I'm using. And I soldered them together, put some heat shrink. I think that's the right way to do it, but whatever you feel comfortable with. So I plugged in the harness. Let me show you where I made my mistake last time. So I plugged this in. This is coming from the car, and then this is to connect to the radio. This portion of it connects to the radio. So I plugged that into the radio and plugged this into the car. But I failed, there's another portion of it that I failed to connect back into this radio. And so what that does is it powers these backlights. And so I was driving and these weren't working, and I couldn't see what I did. I had to turn on the overhead lights to be able to control these. And so it was a simple fix, thankfully. I was thinking I was going to have to wire something up, but it was just simply plugging that in there. So make sure that you do that. So plug the black connector into the back along with the radio antenna, and then slide this guy back in there. And there are a couple clips that should pop if we're lucky. And then one screw there, another screw there, and then it's just a reverse of everything that you did.